Good morning, LinkedIn. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, the world. Great to see you today. On today's show, we have the incredible Mr. Lee Elwell. We have Mary Noel Swiderski and the incredible Emma Abraham. Good morning, Ed. You're on mute, Ed.
Good morning, Andrew. That's a lineup, isn't it? It's fantastic.
It is a lineup and a half. It's going to be a cracking show today. We've got plenty lined up, and yeah, all is good. So just if you're watching out there on LinkedIn or Facebook, give us a shout out, and yeah, give you a big blast on the head.
We'll do exactly that thing. We'll blast you out, tell us who you are and what company you are, because that helps. And then we can say your name and your company name, and we can tell everybody how great and wonderful you are.
Brilliant. Yeah, interesting week. It's been lovely weather out there, and hope everyone's been out there enjoying the sunshine.
We're just so blessed at present. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been great to get back outside again. Yes.
Yeah.
So, Ed.
Yes.
We have loads of new members. So I think is it time for us to give a shout out?
We should say hello to them. It's I think that's the way to go. I will. Well, should we start?
Absolutely. You take it away, Ed. I'm going to hit this button, and let's see how we get on, shall we? So here we go.
Excited. Hello, and welcome to Troy Ram, who's joined Cobra Insight. Good to see you, Troy.
Fantastic. Then we have Jane Smith has joined Cobra Insight too.
And we have Sarah Cooper, who's joined Cobra Creative. Welcome to Cobra.
Then we have Samantha Thomas, who's joined Cobra RWB HQ.
Wonderful. And Christina D'Souza has joined Quest West. Welcome, Christina.
Welcome, Christina. Then we have Mr. Matthew Bradburn has joined Cobra Connect.
And Sam Tevik has joined Cobra Hive.
Fantastic. Then Monique Thomas has joined Bristol's Quest West.
And just to put that little cherry on top of the ice cream sundae of new members, Louise Whedon has rejoined Cobra Jurassic. So good to see you all
right there.
Hi.
Fantastic.
We're getting some comments
plenty going on this week, haven't we, Ed?
We've got bucket loads. I'm just going to say good morning to Chris Mason, who's from Jekyll, who's said good morning to us. We've got Gareth
Chris,
Hayes, who's watching. Hello there, mate. Good to see you, Gareth.
Hello, Gareth. How are you? Good to see you out there on LinkedIn watching at the moment. And also the incredible Minal.
Minal, who's just started out on her own in the great wide world of HR. So Minal is a very knowledgeable HR consultant. Give her a call and let's help her get her business up and running.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
That's what it's all about. Absolutely.
Brilliant. So what we got coming up this week then, Ed? Busy
in the club, Andrew. Busy. We've got our Cobra property event happening. Oh my goodness. And it's happening today. Oh, sorry, tomorrow, I should say. Helps you get the day right, doesn't it? Which is the property club. So if you're into property, that's finance or building, or you have investment properties, and you'd like to come to what is becoming one of the industry's best known property events, come and join us tomorrow at 2:00. And if you want to find out more about that, if you pop to www.thecobraclub.co.uk and click on Property Club, you can find out more about it. You can buy yourself a ticket on there if you want to. If you are a Cobra Club member, you can get in for free. So come and chat to us, and we shall we'll tell you all about it. In fact, there's a VT on these things, isn't there?
There is a VT, Ed. Shall I hit the button?
I think we should hit the button. How exciting.
Right. Okay, let's hit the button and see how we go.
do you know some good reasons why you should join us? Okay, so Cobra Property Connect is an inclusive networking offer for everyone in property and construction. A chance to attend a business hub and build relations across the industries on a regular basis and on your terms. Be you experienced or newbie at the start of your journey in property developing and investor, insurance, broking and finance, building or trade, building design, interior design, or any industry involved in property at any level. We've designed a UK-wide business hub. We have access to each other daily and build your business connections through our multiple events and skills hubs. Why not join us at one of our monthly events held on the second Thursday of each month? Just
Fantastic.
It's a great thing. Really, really good. We had over 100 people there last time, and it's
I was chatting with someone the other day, just getting into property. I said, you need to go to this event. This is ideal for you. Make so many contacts, find your feet, get some advice, just start making those connections in that property trade. It's because if you've never been in it before, I mean, where do you start? And this is the ideal place.
There are people we know who are chock-a-block rammed full of business, and if you'd like to be like that, come and get involved with Property Connect Hub. It's a great place to sort of meet people. Oh, good morning, Yvonne Taylor. Sunshine has now graced our LinkedIn presence. So good to see you, Yvonne.
Nice to see you, Yvonne. Always a pleasure. Ed, I hear we have some news, and I don't know if are we allowed to divulge this news yet? It's about the academies.
What are we thinking about the academies? Well, we can divulge it.
Well, shall I play up? Let me hit this. Here we go. What's the story, Ed?
What's the story, Morning Glory? Right, so we're linking up with some of the universities and helping some young entrepreneurs sort of step into the business world. So we're launching a business academy and a sort of youth section, if you like, of the Cobra Club. It's probably going to be called Cobra Green, and it'll be launching in the next few days. So let us know if you're interested to get involved in that, if you've worked with the youth, or if you are new to business and you want to sort of get started on the right footing. Come and get involved in Cobra Green. It should be really, really good for us.
Sounds good. 18 years and above, but all those people in unis, colleges, etc., higher education, come and have a chat. It's a new thing that we're going to help and support and grow, and it's hard to get a foothold in the business world, and there's so much out there. And where do you start?
It's very difficult, and it's very easy to, as we know, to spend vast amounts of money and achieve nothing with it. So come to us, prevent yourself from doing that, save yourself a bucket load of money, and just start quicker than you would do elsewise. I've just had Marie Noelle Swodowski who said, yes, Cobra Property Connect is an amazing event. Good morning. Good morning, Marie.
I'll say hi to Hannah. Morning. Who's on a tea break? Don't get caught.
Morning, Hannah.
Fantastic. Okay, Ed. I think it might be time, because I can see the ladies. We've got Emma and Marie Noelle in the green room. I think it might be time to get one of them in. So let me just find this. So I'm going to play this.
Got to get Emma in, because she's eating all the pretzels in the green room.
Yes.
So
what I'll do, I'll play this VT, and when we come back, magically Emma will be in the studio. So here we go.
That's brilliant. Looking forward to it.
Good morning, Emma.
Hello.
Hi, Emma. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Very, very well.
Thank you very well. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Having me?
Fantastic. So, Emma, I mean, it's your first time on this show. Have you been on live before? Have you done anything live?
I actually did a live yesterday using StreamYard for the first time for a Mums in Marketing group, which I work quite closely with. So twice in 1 week.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, fantastic. Well, thanks for coming today. So what I normally start with, Emma, is just asking a bit about your journey and your background. where you've come from and the journey that you're on and where you are now.
So my background is very much hospitality and tourism. Started working in the industry as my very first job many years ago, and progressed through that working as a director of sales for hotel groups such as Village and Malmaison. I then sidestepped into marketing for hospitality and tourism. Unfortunately, I got made redundant during the pandemic, but I think I'm very much, everything happens for a reason. You have to see the positive in everything. And I thought, do you know what? I've always wanted to work for myself, so maybe this is a sign that I just need to give it a go. So that was about 6 months ago. Obviously, it's been a little bit tough because running a business in a pandemic is quite tough, but also my ideal client is hospitality and tourism, and obviously that's an industry that's really struggled and is starting to bounce back.
Yeah, it's I was speaking to someone yesterday that, you know, booking holidays, not going. I mean, the hospitality and, well, tourism especially must just be down in the right down at the bottom at the moment. I mean, it's a tough trade out there at the moment.
It doesn't help with them saying you can go places and then stopping you going places and then starting you going. I mean, Portugal, that's just an awful thing for Portugal and for us, actually, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually all for keeping the economy here going. Let everybody holiday in the UK. It's an amazing place. We've proved that you can still have fun in, well, it's coming up to 18 months, isn't it? Of not really traveling very much. So I'm all for it.
So you come out of that trade, and now you find yourself, is it in Find Marketing? So the brand, my brand is Find Marketing, and because of my background, which is very much equally strong on the business development as well as the marketing, that's what I offer. So it's really strategic in making sure that your marketing has your sales goals in focus at all time. And do you find out most clients, when you start to deal with them, they don't have a sales or marketing plan?
Yeah, a lot of what I do is really going back to the fundamentals, which is, you know, looking at the company vision, looking at the objectives, looking at your ideal clients and your buyer profiles. And it's amazing how many businesses are doing well, but they haven't done that aspect of it. And that really is the groundwork that's going to set the foundation that you do, and it makes it so much easier once you've done that. I think a lot of people see it as time consuming, but actually the time and energy that you save in the long run by doing those early points makes a huge difference.
I suppose in small businesses, you know, it could be the business owner, it could be the ops guy, you know, they're generally quite small teams, they're overstretched, underfunded, and I guess it's a common problem, isn't it? And then who has the time to sort this big problem out? And that's it's where you come in, I suppose.
Yeah, I find a lot of people are doing well, but they've kind of bolted on things as they've gone along rather than strategically taking it right back to basics with where they actually want to get to, because then all of the decisions are made on that vision, and it makes your business run so much easier. And also then seeing the return on investment that you're going to get from all of your marketing activity. It's not wasted, it's strategic.
Yes. So I guess that sort of, sorry, Ed, you're on mute at the moment.
I am. We see, Andy and I, we see a lot of people who would absolutely fall into that category. So they do what they do because at the time they thought that's a good thing to do. There's no plan to it. It's, I need to do something. So what? And they almost respond to the first thing in their email inbox where someone's trying to sell them something. And we spent a long time with people sort of stripping back and saying, well, so why do you do that really? And what was the original goal, and where were you originally headed to? And it's quite important to get the marketing strategy along with the sales strategy, along with, if you like, the business strategy correct, so that you can move forwards. Because just because you hit a brick wall doesn't actually mean that that's not the right way to go. You know, you might need to find a way of getting around that brick wall, and then if there are other things to add on, well, let's add them on, and let's make that happen. But your initial vision was what you wanted to do, and people are massively swayed by what happens today, and that's not always the reason to change.
Yes, definitely. You hit the nail on the head.
Or if you have a marketing campaign and that particular part of it doesn't work, it doesn't mean the whole marketing campaign isn't going to work. And you can just have, we find it even within the Cobra Club, you could have 50 people attend a meeting one week and 30 people attend a meeting the next week. It's half term. The government have made some change to lockdown. There is no reasoning behind it. It's just the right thing. If you suddenly go, we're 30% down on visitors, we've got to change the whole way the Cobra Club works for that one meeting that happened. It would be the wrong thing to do. And I think people's businesses, if they don't have a plan, can be very susceptible to how you feel on the day. And that doesn't give you an overview of everything, does it?
You'll find that people are just sort of being reactive rather than proactive. So something happens and they're like, oh yes, right, we'll go that way, but it's completely taking you off course what your longer term vision is. So yeah,
knee jerky.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, what kind of,
I try and make sense of it all.
What kind of strategies would you deploy? Would it be, obviously you look at a brand new business and I suppose there's an element of social in there, maybe paid advertising. How do you decide really? The world's a big place and there's lots, where do people hang out? Where is your target audience? I mean,
well, I suppose this is where I'm slightly different because there isn't a one size fits all for each business. So it's not like I would go in and say, we're going to do social, we're going to do pay-per-click advertising. Actually, until I understand what your business's pain points are and you clearly know your client, then I can't tell you what the strategy would be because it's going to be different for every single person and every business. So, it might be that people want to increase sales or increase their price or a combination of both when they're looking at the product, or maybe they're looking to get new customers or looking to re-engage with lapsed customers. So there's a whole huge range that we look at. It's not you can expect A, B and C. It's completely different for everybody.
I think sometimes to question things as well is really good for if you're an outsider coming into a business, as you would be. It's a great thing to do because you can sit with people and say, that's an interesting decision. Why? And actually, when you actually ask those questions, people, they have, because I've got to do something, is probably the answer you get back. So let's look at what you're trying to achieve and then backtrack it to what work you're going to do. And then actually they understand the strategy. And it may be the right strategy, and that's absolutely brilliant. But let's look at it and actually understand why it's the right strategy, I think, in the first place, which doesn't take long and is a really cost-effective thing to do for your business. Same for the long-term goal of it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And it's making sure that whatever marketing activity you're doing is giving you the leads generation to be able to convert those sales for you. It's not just doing marketing for the sake of marketing. It's actually being really strategic. But at the end of the day, you want to be making more money. So that's what your marketing needs to be doing for you.
I mean, I guess ultimately, your marketing, whatever you do in the marketing has to be covered with the business that you're generating. And if it's not, is something going wrong?
Yeah.
You see it out there quite a lot. I mean, it does happen all the time, doesn't it? People spend a lot of money on marketing and don't necessarily get anywhere. I would suggest they're probably using the wrong people.
Or it might just be that they're using a variety of people. So actually, they're not. All of those people aren't working in cohesion together for the end goal, especially if it's not being set out. So it's just trying to make everything a little bit clearer and a little bit more strategic.
So within Find Marketing then, let's say if someone's, using someone to do social and something else, you sort of head that up and pull these people together and to work in some sort of cohesive sort of strategy.
Yes, so it can be done in different ways. So it can be pulling that strategy together and then using the people that you have in your business to be working in one direction, or we can take it on completely. So it's an either or. Like I said, we adapt to each business that we work with. It's not that we come in and take over everything and say, this is what you've got to do. Until we understand your business, we don't know what it is you've got to do.
And I think that's actually a cost saving then for most businesses, isn't it? Because you can actually look at what you're doing and maybe reevaluate that and streamline that to make the people who are doing it enjoy their job far more because they're actually getting something out of it, and actually, spending that money that you're already spending in your business far more sensibly. And getting a better result, which means that any cost that came from Find Marketing is a fraction to what you're actually going to be making.
And a lot of clients, we just come in as on a consultant basis first, so it might just be to get all of that in place and then let you go with it, and we can just keep checking in. It's not about us taking over your business, it's about us making it easier for you, so we can be hold people's hand as much as we need to, or completely step back. So
you're part of a big team. Is there lots of you if you need to be? Is it just you?
So there's a few of us that work within Find, but we actually have a lot of freelance and contracted people that we can draw on, and everyone is a specialist in what they do. So it is really simplifying that aspect as well, that we know that these people can work, and it's only pulling them in for exactly what they're needed and that time that you're paying for, rather than a huge team.
Fantastic. And what who is your target customer, or what would be those words I'd listen out for? So I think, right, I've got to get Emma in there. What are the pain points of that customer?
For me, the ideal clients tend to be independent hotels or smaller hotel chains, restaurant chains, or really service-focused businesses. So it might be associations or community groups, that kind of thing, or any business that is looking to really, that their client would be the hospitality industry, because I understand that industry so much and I understand all the jargon. Then those are my ideal type of clients, and the kind of pain point that they would be having is just that they're not getting the return on investment that they want on their marketing activity, or they just feel that they're doing all this marketing activity, but actually it's not generating the sales that they want. It's like they're doing it okay, but they know that they can do it a lot better. They just can't seem to get there. That for me is like the dream client.
Yeah, it can be quite hard to get traction, and using experts like your good self, Emma, definitely is a consideration for any company. And ultimately, I guess it's just a conversation to start with. There's no commitment or anything like that.
Absolutely not. Yeah, it's just nice to talk. I'm very commercial. I love talking about business. I'm very much about solving problems. So just having that chat with someone and maybe opening their eyes. It's all about networking, isn't it? And people will come back to you once they get to know you.
So Emma, I was going to ask you, don't answer just yet, but I was going to ask you one of your top tips. If you had to give a top tip today, watch this VT, and then when you come back, we're going to put you on the spot. So here we go.
Completely putting me on the spot.
That's what we like. It's live in real time, and
I suppose my top tip would be ask yourself truthfully whether your marketing and sales strategies are working in conjunction with each other.
Yeah, because 99% of the time they're not, or a lot of the time they're not.
There's two separate strategies there, whereas actually they need to be feeding each other.
A lot of companies, the smaller the business, the more so, they don't have a sales strategy and they don't have a marketing strategy. So my top tip would be go and speak to Emma about clarifying your sales and marketing strategy, even if it's just a conversation, to see if you've got one or you haven't got one. Because you might think you've got a strategy, but actually it might not be the paper. It's not worth the paper it's written on. So
So you asked Emma a question about business, i.e. what's the best tip for business, but that doesn't tell us much about the person behind the business, does it, Andrew? So I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to have to watch a VT, and then I might just stretch you a little bit further, okay? So in life, it's very, very important to be inspired by people. Who's your inspiration, Emma?
So for me, entrepreneurs are my inspiration. Jeff Bezos. During lockdown, I decided that e-commerce was the way to go, and I'm always one for developing myself. So I've actually studied to become a professional Amazon seller. I have sourced products from China, and I'm now selling in America because I feel like
no way, that's amazing.
Yeah, I feel like I want a slice.
Can you tell us what products they are? Are they naughty?
I can't share what they are because they're not properly protected yet. But
sexy lingerie or something.
It's in the sport and wellness sector.
Oh, brilliant!
So, but America is a much bigger market, so I decided to go there. So, if you know, I think everyone should really go for it and stretch themselves, and that's what I decided to do.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, that's really good.
Jeff Bezos is an inspirational guy, actually. I met a man who funded Amazon into Europe, and when he met Jeff Bezos, Jeff said, and at that stage they were a book warehouse, booksellers.
Yeah.
And Jeff said he drew up this plan for this massive infrastructure through Europe, and the guy couldn't understand why a book company wanted to have this huge infrastructure in place. Clearly, Jeff had vision, etc. And Jeff said to him, "And I have to be first." He said, "If I'm not the first in every single country, I'm not interested in going to that country at all." Which is interesting.
That shows you what a clear vision does, doesn't it?
Really clear vision. And if you think about it, who is second to Amazon? Who's second to eBay in the UK? Yeah? It's amazing how visionary these people are. They just take it that next stage forward. It's fantastic too. Sorry.
Brilliant. Thanks so much today, Emma. Make sure, obviously your details have scrolled across the bottom of the screen, but maybe in the chat sort of on LinkedIn or Facebook, you can track us down and pop your details in there. And because, lots of people watch this back sort of during the week and following weeks. So it's going to be there for all time. So make sure you get your details in there. And just want to say a big thank you for coming on today. It's been great to sort of get to know you more, find out exactly what you do and how you do it and who you're doing it for. And we'll definitely be on the lookout for sort of referrals for you, and just sort of wish you all the best. Yeah.
And if someone just wants a quick one-to-one with you, just to find out if you can help.
Yeah, definitely.
They can book with you for free. Is it? I mean, it's a.
Yeah, definitely. Let's just have a chat.
Exploratory chat.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So, folks, we'll say goodbye to Emma, and when we come back, we'll be chatting with Marie-Noelle. So here we go.
Amazing. Hi there, Marie-Noelle. How are you?
And I just appear.
Oh, magic.
As if by magic. Yeah.
That's right.
Thanks for coming on today. I think is this the second time, isn't it, Marie-Noelle?
It is. I can't stay away.
Brilliant. And today you're going to be, last time it was about interior sort of design and architecture. This week's going to be about CBD, isn't it, I believe?
It is, yes. I mean, not unlike Emma, who was here just a few minutes ago. I started a business during lockdown, the first lockdown, and I didn't expect to do that. But as you mentioned, I'm an interior architect, interior designer, and as you can imagine, at the first lockdown, most, if not all of my projects were just dead in the water, on hold or stopped or canceled. And my husband was made redundant. Anyway, we had to think creatively. And as you can imagine, anxiety was rife, sleep was not really present. And so in the first instance, I turned to CBD because it was introduced to me by a friend. And it was about debunking myths to start with, because like most people, when I heard about it at first, I thought, I'm not that kind of person. I don't want to be high. I'm not on drugs. And is it legal? And she explained, she debunked the first myth for me, which was that CBD, the way we know it, is comes from hemp. It doesn't come from marijuana. So that was the first point.
What does what do you know? What I don't know. I mean, I might know. I don't know. What does CBD stand for?
Well, the idea is that all of the elements that are present in hemp are called cannabinoids. They're basically components of that plant, and each of the letters stands basically because they've had to be differentiated. So CBD is the one that's best known, but there's CBN, CBG, CBDA, and each of them has a specific function or specific effect on our body. And so just to finish on the idea of the business is that once I started using the products, then I realized there was a business component to it. And so I signed up for that. But so the first myth, to go back to that, is that I had no idea that marijuana is one plant. It grows to about 1 foot. And its main component is THC, which is the psychoactive, mind-altering product, which people can take recreationally, or in some areas of the world, it can be prescribed medically for some conditions. Hemp, on the other hand, which is a completely distinct plant of the same family, has a little bit of THC, but close to zero, and it can easily be removed. It has 144 other cannabinoids, which is a huge amount of components. And each of them has a specific effect on your body. Now, one may think that it's because it's a foreign substance that you're ingesting. But what research has found, and that was a second myth that was debunked for me, is that we actually produce CBD, we produce cannabinoids. We have what is called an endocannabinoid system. So all of us, all human beings, produce cannabinoids, but we only produce about 15% of what we need for our body to function optimally. And the reason why I say that is that the endocannabinoid system regulates your sleep, your appetite, your mood, your hormone production, and your metabolic rate. When you think about all of that, that's pretty much your body, right?
Yeah.
So it's like basically not putting enough fuel into your car. Your car would obviously not function well. And so we find ourselves not having enough CBD in our body. And the reason why it's coming to light now is we used to ingest a lot of cannabinoids through hemp because hemp was a big cash crop. You know, we made sails out of it, we made textile out of it. And that goes back to, antiquity even. And this cash crop was used so prevalently that basically you would eat a chicken breast and the chicken had eaten hemp seeds. You would eat a steak and the cow had grazed on some hemp grass. And so we didn't realize that CBD levels in our bodies were actually balanced by our diet. And in the 1930s, what was called the Marijuana Tax Act came in force in the US, where they amalgamated hemp and marijuana as bad plants. And they came out, basically it was too expensive for farmers to be cultivating it anymore. So it's as if the government today said lemons and limes are bad, even though it was only lime, for example, they wanted to eradicate. And so since the 1930s, medical studies have been done over generations and have assessed that unfortunately this emergence of autoimmune, degenerative and inflammatory diseases like arthritis and autism and Parkinson's and Alzheimer's can be linked to this lack of CBD levels in our bodies.
What happens what happens if one takes too much?
You can't overdose on it.
Okay.
You can't. There's no. It's called the hippie's disappointment. Because basically, you can keep ingesting it and nothing's going to happen. But your body just, and it's provided in different concentration levels depending on why you're taking it or your lifestyle. Like athletes will take it to a very high concentration because their bodies are required to perform at such a level. And if you're in quite good health already, just balancing it to about 50 milligrams a day is fine. Equally, if you're in good health, but perhaps you have some joint pain or you're fatigued, or your sleep isn't great, or you're a bit anxious,
Yeah.
just topping up that level allows you to, again, find balance within the chaos.
Is there any way of actually measuring your internal cannabinoid levels? Does it exist?
That is a very good question. I would imagine that you can. I'm not sure that there's like a do-it-at-home kit, but I would imagine that yes, there must be a way to measure it perhaps in your bloodstream, but that's a very good question. I haven't inquired about that. It'd be interesting to find out.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? The whole sort of relationship between sleep, anxiety, and all the other things you talked about, and your cannabinoid. Can't say the word.
Cannabinoids.
It's a
bit of a mouthful. Yeah, no, it's interesting. And the moment when a human body produces the most cannabinoids is when a woman is lactating, breastfeeding. And in the breast milk, there's a very high concentration of cannabinoids, which is, again, fascinating.
So if one ingests, I presume, in oil form or in tablet form,
yes,
CBD,
oil form is better.
Apart from obviously better sleep and lower anxiety, what other physical? Does one feel, I don't know, stoned if one has it, or how does it?
No,
I know
so you don't. Yeah,
like taking a paracetamol, you wouldn't actually feel any different apart from the drug.
So the idea, first of all, is that the idea is that you take it every day because it has a compounding effect. So it's not that you take it and right away you feel something. It's, again, feeding your body in a way that it kind of settles and then builds up, right?
Okay.
So as you take it, depending on your metabolic rate again and how your body functions already, it'll take maybe a week, maybe 3, maybe 5 weeks for you to really feel a notable difference. But aside from, as you said, sleep becoming easier because you get longer REM cycles. So aside from that, anxiety being balanced, I find one of the unexpected benefits for me is that during the day now, I'm very focused. I'm really efficient. There's a clarity in my thinking and in my organizing my work that is really amazing and really obviously.
Is there any like research done into sort of things like ADHD and those sorts of things? Is there?
Yes, yeah. There's research on so many afflictions. It's really quite staggering, the broad effect. And when I was mentioning that hemp has 144 cannabinoids, first of all, there are some that still are not fully documented in how beneficial their effects are. But what's amazing is that when you take the CBD oil, you don't just get the CBD, you get the entourage effect of the other ones, the CBG, which affects your mood. So it's a bit like a mood lifting, a mood enhancing component. The CBN, which affects your sleep. So you get all of these benefits and you don't even realize all of these things that they're affecting, and I know that some women I know have been taking it for menopause symptoms and finding that, again, it's such an amazing natural balancing component that it's really just a life-changing product to discover.
And it's good. See, is there good stuff and bad stuff? What should you take? What shouldn't you take? Is there?
Yeah. So
chosen by these, or is it?
Yeah, as you can imagine, since CBD has been kind of discovered or rediscovered, and the cannabis revolution has started, everyone wants a piece of that pie, right? So it's sold in all kinds of forms, et cetera, et cetera. Now, it's very important when one looks at what you're taking to look at the milligram concentration per milliliter, because a lot of people will come and say, oh, it's expensive for this tiny bottle. But if you look at the concentration of the CBD, that's really what matters, because I could sell you a vat of coconut oil with like a drop of CBD, and then you'd be surprised because it's not doing anything.
Yeah.
So it's important that when one buys the product, not only is the concentration per milligram clearly indicated, make sure that it's triple lab tested, because again, you could have some THC there and not be aware of it. So depending, for example, on your job, you may need to be drug tested occasionally. You need to make sure it's a product that has 0 THC.
Yeah.
it's a product that needs to be fully sustainable and organic in the way that not only has it been produced, but it's been extracted, it's been packaged, it's suspended. Also, it has to be suspended in a natural oil that isn't like palm oil, or so there's so many steps in the process that then give you the optimal product. So a lot of due diligence has to be done when you turn towards it.
Okay, and does you would suggest people took the actual oil, would you? Is that?
Yes, so the oil is the best way, because really what you do is you squirt it with a little pipette, you take the dosage that you need, you squirt it under your tongue, and you let it sit there for a minute or two, let's say, while you're doing something else, boiling the kettle or whatever, and then you just swallow it. And you can take it any time of the day, unless you're taking one specifically for your sleep, in which case you can take it just before you sleep, etc. But normally you take it any time of the day. And basically the fact that you're taking the oil and you're taking it under your tongue is it basically goes directly into your system. You know, it bypasses everything basically, because if you take a gel cap that has the oil inside it, of course it's a way of taking it. Sometimes when you travel, that's what you need to have, etc. But it has to go through your digestive system before it's actually distributed, which, as you can imagine, you know, adds a level of filtering, let's say, that would remove some of the effects.
So what's the best way that people can actually say, I should come and speak to Marie Noelle? What should be the triggers that make people think, actually, I should come have a chat with you?
It could be so many things. It could be, I'm in good health, but I just feel that during the day maybe I lack a bit of pep, or my sleep isn't great because these days I'm a bit anxious and things are a bit difficult, or, you know, I've had this niggly pain on my wrist because whatever, or I'm actually, you know, suffering from something that really affects my quality of life, and I don't want to be self-medicating with chemicals and things that I'm not sure where they come from. So that would be one way. Or I'm an athlete, or basically I want to take something that is natural and is going to allow my body to really thrive or live better or serve me better. So that's one thing. And the other side of it is the anxiety, for example, these days is caused by the fact that I don't have a regular income, or I don't have enough of an income. I'd like to investigate a way to generate a passive income for a product that addresses a universal clientele, as opposed to a niche one, for example, for weight loss or for essential oils or skincare, which, to be fair, doesn't interest everyone, right? Whereas CBD oil truly can be taken by babies, elderly people, athletes, desk dwellers, pets. I mean, really, it is universal. So when you speak of a product like that, that truly changes people's lives.
What's the carrying oil?
It's a coconut oil.
Is it coconut oil? Okay.
Yes, it is coconut.
And you're just looking for the milligram strength of that coconut oil.
Correct. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if it's a 120 ml bottle and the price is £15 as opposed to £150. What matters is in that 120 milliliters, how many milligrams are carried by the oil.
That makes really good sense.
That's what's important.
And you can advise people and guide people on the right way of getting involved and the right way of trying.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a website that would then show them the different products and the different concentration and different applications, should they want to go into that. And yeah, like I said, it's it gives you just optimal peace of mind, both in terms of health and in terms of income, should you want to become an ambassador like myself. Yeah. But obviously you can just take the product and discover it for yourself and just talk about it to friends and family. And
I know someone who's taken it, and you probably know I'm talking about Marie Noelle, but she took it for anxiety, and actually she had a really bad accident and broke her ankle. It was all metal plated, etc. And that pain sort of disappeared with this product.
Isn't it amazing?
Which, she'd only ever lived with that pain and had taken, other sorts of medication, I suppose, which is sort of synthesized and processed. And all that. So I know she was very happy when she found this product, because it just sort of gave her a different kind of lease of life, So I would say that people should, consider it if they've got
and not just
that just don't get resolved, you know. If you I suppose, you know, you go to your doctor, it doesn't get resolved, it niggles on forever, then it might be time just to try it. It's not a drug, is it? It's not
at all.
It's not illegal. It's not a drug.
And the company that the products I represent, the company that produces them is the company that started this whole cannabis revolution. They're the ones who started with their medical arm first, doing all the research and all the analyses until they then decided to distribute their products. And it's the only company in the world that represents cannabis CBD products that has spoken to the World Health Organization, has dealt with drug enforcement agencies, has supported all of these different services around the world to promote the development, the education, and the availability of such products, to the point where this company's products are the only ones that in Paraguay, in Costa Rica, and another country in South America, the name of which I forget, they provide these products, that company, our company, Cannaway's products, as a medical product, as a medicine, prescribed medicine for epilepsy, autism, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, which is, it tells you at what level the products are positioned, which is very unique. Very unique.
So I keep muting myself because the next door neighbour's digging his drive up.
Oh, right. No problem.
So forgive me for that. So it's
no, it's absolutely fine. So so it's just a great adventure.
When you were on last, can you remember if we asked you a question at the end? It was a little bit random. What did we ask you?
You asked me about the first concert I went to.
Right. Well, along those lines, because we need to find out a little bit more about the background of Marie Noelle, because I don't believe that you haven't got one of these. Bear with me. I bet you got a secret talent. What's your secret talent, Marie Noelle?
Wow.
What's your
I'm actually stumped. What is my secret talent?
Come on.
I'm very good at organizing a canoe camping trip and carrying my canoe
where do you canoe? Tell us about canoeing.
Well, I grew up in Canada, as you may or may not know, and every summer, pretty much when I was little, we used to be sent to summer camp. And one of the big highlights of a summer camp is to go canoe tripping. And obviously, as you can imagine, in Canada, you have the advantage of doing properly wild canoe camping trips where you see no one for 10 days, aside from maybe the occasional bear, and in which case you then paddle quickly in the middle of the lake and wait for them to go after they've eaten your toothpaste and everything you may have left in your tent. So, and to this day, it's really, to me, that is the holiday. To be camping in the middle of nowhere, wake up with the sun rising on the lake, and just, polar dipping.
That just sounds amazing.
Brilliant.
It's just idyllic.
Book me a ticket.
Book me we'll come with you. We'll have a proper canoe trip.
Yeah. So I can bring green fire, and obviously I always do it in style. We always bring proper T-bones and wine and red wine. It's not like just.
So
has to be done properly.
Cannabinoid, I should say, not cannabis.
Yes. Well, now I'll bring cannabinoids for sure.
That's all right.
Brilliant. So just quickly, thank you, Marie Noelle. How can someone get hold of you?
So they can absolutely email me, reach me on LinkedIn, or call me or WhatsApp me. You can see my mobile number going at the bottom of the screen here. You can look me up on LinkedIn, and you can definitely email me. This is my work design email, but I'm more than happy for people to email me on that as well. So I'm always happy to have a conversation, just, again, debunk a few myths, clarify a few points, and just guide people ultimately in what is a gesture for themselves, an investment for themselves that they will not regret, honestly.
Yeah, brilliant.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It was lovely to be here as usual.
Yeah.
And
Good to see
we'll see you soon anyway.
Are you enjoying yourself at the Cobra Club?
Yes, it really is. It's amazing. I was just telling my husband this morning, I've met such precious human beings, like really top quality professionals and personal individuals. It's really amazing.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Marina.
Thank you. Nice to see
you
you
again soon. Bye.
Bye.
See you soon. See you soon. Okay, for my wonderful words of wisdom this week, I'm going to refer to a lady called Colleen Honan, who's the Chief Sales Officer at a company called Brainshark. And what she says is something that I sort of bang the drum about a lot. It's about activity. So you get people who are procrastinated by activity because they worry too much about it. But I'll tell you something. The top salespeople are usually the ones with the most activity. It doesn't guarantee that you'll close more deals or that you'll do more business. But if you have no activity, you won't close any deals or do any business. So it's all about activity. So I'm a big one for do it. Get on with it. Have a go. Start. Because that actually means that something can happen. Even if it's a negative, it's not. You've proved one way doesn't work and you're then further forwards, moving forwards.
Yeah.
So I would then take that and I would say, go and speak to someone like Andrew Hatcher. Get yourself a business strategy that involves action on a daily basis, that involves doing something on a daily basis. Get your sales strategy right. That's someone with Ed. And funnily enough, Andrew and Ed run a business called Operation Baseline where we can help you with that. And actually work with somebody like Emma Abraham to get your marketing strategy right. So your activity therefore becomes far more focused. But if you do nothing, guarantee you one thing, you will get nothing. So activity. It's the way to succeed.
Yeah, there is only, I will say there is no failure. There's only either win or you learn.
100%. And you're far better for it. At least at the end of the day, when you sit there and you're trying to justify your existence, which I've done on many a night in bed, actually you can say, I did something today. However good, bad it was, rather than doing nothing, because that's just crippling from a mental perspective.
Yeah, I went out there and gave it a go.
Give it a go.
Yeah. Thank you, Ed. Just quickly, I just want to give a couple of last shout-outs because we're rapidly running out of time. What does Chris say? Let's get involved. Oh, you've got links to Student Entrepreneurial World. Fantastic. That's great news.
I know.
Well done, Chris.
Useful man to know.
Great to be hearing the latest news. Fantastic. She says, well, there you go. Peter Jones, Enterprise Academy.
We like Peter Jones.
We do. Good morning, Christina. Good to see you.
Hi, Christina.
Always a pleasure. And I think this must be Emma.
I'm pretty sure that's Emma. That's fantastic. And actually, do you know, we've got a club full of really great people. So this week, who's your hero, Andrew?
Oh.
Oh, I just want to ride my horse. That's fantastic.
Absolutely. My hero of the week this week is Isabel.
Isabel who?
Isabel. I can't remember Isabel
Clark, do you mean?
Isabel Clark. Yes, Isabel Clark. We saw her the other day, and it's been great to see her. She joined the club right on day 1 or day 2, and still here. And catching up with her the other day, she's obviously been working so hard. She's had her best year, and it just goes to show perseverance. Keep going, keep trying, keep mixing it up.
One of the most inspirational people. And thank you, Isabel, if you are listening, for my bottle of champagne.
Yeah, and my chocolates.
And chocolate.
I just want to say a big thank you to absolutely everyone. I was blown away last week for me 50th. Just the amount of support I had, and friends, brilliant. I just touched. So thank you everyone for all of that. I'm just completely blown away. So anyhow, Ed, I think it's time.
No, I think it's time for one more thing. We've done really, really well with our marketing and our emotive content on our sites. So I'm just going to give a very quick shout out to that person who does it all for us. That'll be Hannah Matarazzo then.
Brilliant. Okay, Ed. Fantastic. Thank you, Hannah. Now we're going to go into the weekly events. So you ready for this, Ed?
Yeah.
Get ready, we go.
Well, come and join me on a Monday morning for Monday Motivation, 9 to 10. Get your diary full of appointments for the upcoming week. Hurrah!
Fantastic. Then on Monday at 12 to 1, we have Alan Parsons Pure Networking. Come along. It's a bit like come along. Come along.
And then after your lovely lunch, you can relax at Christie's Virtual Coffee Club. Thrive and Connect every Monday 3 till 4.
Fantastic. Then we have the wonderful Cobra Creative every Monday at 4 p.m. Hannah Matarazzo, come and get involved in this creative networking event.
Just in case you have any energy left, come to Monday Mayhem 7:30 to 8:30 with the inspirational Zafran Khan up in Birmingham.
Fantastic. Then we have Western Business Networking weekly on Tuesday 10:30 a.m. with the wonderful Judith West in the Bristol area.
Oh, and then you can get that. Tantalising Tuesdays with your host, Hermon Taylor, 12 till 1:30 every Tuesday. Look at that.
Fantastic. Then we have the incredible Victoria Woods running the Cobra office every Tuesday, 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m.
Oh, and then on Wednesdays, you can have your mastermind. So come along and get your mind mastered at 2 to 3:30 with the inspirational Beverly Lockett.
#1 Amazon best-selling author. And then we have Arian Anstey at the Snowdon Summit. It's quite nice up there this week. Weekly on Wednesday, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m.
And then the mother of all networking meetings, the big boy, Meeting Talents on a Wednesday, 7 till 9. Come and join us tonight. Bring a drink. Have a good day.
Fantastic. Then we have Cobra Connect, business networking event every Thursday, 10 a.m. to 11:30 up in Liverpool, Manchester, Preston or Warrington area.
And then, as Barry would say, the main event on a Thursday between 1 and 2, Cobra Live Link Up.
Fantastic. Then we have Mr. Chris Mason with Cobra Strike. Chris is into bowling and he loves all things round. So join Chris every Thursday, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Cobra Club.
And then we can pop along first thing Friday for fish and chips on the beach with the inspirational Louise Montblanc, 8 till 9 o'clock every Friday morning.
Fantastic. The incredible Mr. Shane Yates with Full World Breakfast every Friday morning, 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m.
And then pop along with a pickled egg with the lovely James Richmond for his Somerset Plowman's lunch, 12 till 1:30.
Really good, that one. Went to that one last week. Fantastic. Then we finish the week off with a glass of wine on Wine Down Friday. Sharon Ritchie every Friday, 4 p.m. to 5:30.
4-6.
Absolutely, we'll see you there. How'd you get involved, Ed?
Say that again, Mr. Hatcher.
How'd you get involved?
Well, what you do is you pop along to www.thecobraclub.co.uk and you'll see a button saying get started now, join up, and you can go to every single meeting across the country. You can meet with hundreds of inspirational people and you can really get your business accelerating. It's the most cost-effective form of marketing that you will ever see. We've had just a couple more comments. We've had the wonderful Minal company's doing a great job, Hannah, because she sees the videos and she thinks they're great. And talking of Cobra Office, Victoria Woods. I would agree with her saying it's an awesome show because we are awesome.
Absolutely. I just want to give a quick shout out to Victoria Watson Bradley, who's coming on to Meeting Talents tonight to talk about people who have been affected by brain damage from brain tumours, seizures, epilepsy, or any other reasons of anything to do with the brain. And she's got a real interesting thing she's going to share with the group on how to improve people's life by the use of a simple app. So anyone who knows anyone that sort of struggled and in that situation, come along, because it's going to be a good one. Fantastic. Thank you, Ed. Thank you. It's been a great show. So I think it's time now to hit the button. So a big thank you to everyone who's watched out there today, and love you all, and we'll see you soon. All right, take care, guys. Bye.
Now you're watching me, all eyes on me, 'cause I've been living the good life.
rise and splash in the clouds. Dance in the crowds and laugh out loud. Holding your hand, unfolding a plan. Two souls in a land like gold in a pan. Float in the breeze or soak in the sea. Come go there with me where we both wanna be. Lie on the beach or fly in the streets. I'm trying to keep this vine in the reach. Putting everything I do aside, me and you are first. We can travel to the very end of the universe. You and me are meant to be divine energy. Living with no rules in a pool of serenity. Come be my fantasy, go away with me. Lock us up in a dream and throw away the keys. Come on, live this up now. Good life, good laugh, good love now. Come on, live this with me. Good laugh, good love, we live free. Come on, live this up now. Good life, good laugh, good love now. Come on, live this with me. Good laugh, good love, we live free. We need to rise with these new eyes. Pull the disguise off of these blue skies. Lights in the city reflect off the shoreline. When you're living this life, you want more time. Rewind the time, align planets. Ride this comet to a new dynamic. Your eyes on me, mine on you. Living the good life, we do what
Now
we
you
want to.
watch it